Okay, let's get right into it. There's this really tough spot. A painful confusion for neurotypical wives with husbands on the autism spectrum. Their husband's behavior sometimes cold, maybe emotionally distant, very self-focused. It can look exactly like narcissism.
It really can. And that's terrifying.
Yeah. So today, our mission is to figure out, how do you tell the difference? Is it a neurological blind spot or something else, something intentional?
The stakes are just incredibly high here because, like you said, the outward signs, he never asks how I am or he just shuts down if I cry, they seem identical.
Right. Identical to emotional neglect or even manipulation.
Exactly. But we have to look deeper because the why behind it changes everything. It tells you if you're dealing with a good man wired differently or someone actually harmful.
So it comes down to neurology versus psychology.
That's the core distinction, yeah.
Yeah.
Autistic traits causing these misunderstandings are fundamentally neurological. Processing issues, missing data, sensory filters.
Okay. Neurological.
Whereas narcissistic behaviors, those are psychological. They usually stem from things like, a lack of empathy combined with manipulation, entitlement, maybe a need for control. It's character-based, intentional.
Okay, let's break down the neurological drivers then.
Yeah.
If the behaviors look the same, what's actually happening in the autistic brain that causes these moments that feel so rejecting?
Well, the sources point to a few key things. First is probably mind blindness.
Right, I've heard that term.
It's basically difficulty reading the subtext, unspoken messages, tone of voice, intentions. If it's not said directly, the data point might just be missed.
So it's not apathy, it's like the signal didn't even arrive.
Precisely. It's missing input, not deliberate ignoring. And that leads to the second mechanism, emotional processing lag.
So he's not ignoring my feelings, he's buffering.
Kind of, yeah. He needs time to decode what you're feeling and also what he's feeling in response. It takes conscious effort.
Which must be hard if his focus is elsewhere.
Exactly, that's the third one. Monotropic focus. Think of it like a single track mind, but like a really high-speed train on that one track.
Okay.
If he's deep into work or a project or even just his thoughts, emotional cues happening on a nearby track might just get completely drowned out. The brain struggles to switch tracks quickly.
And the last one sounds really crucial, the shutdown, sensory overload.
Yes. This is huge. If things get too intense, loud noises, strong emotions, too much happening, the brain basically pulls the emergency brake.
Survival mode.
Totally. It shifts to just coping, and that capacity for nuanced emotional back and forth, it just goes offline temporarily. It's not punishment.
That's so important. It feels like punishment, like the silent treatment.
I know, but compare that neurological overload to actual narcissism. True narcissism often involves intentional cruelty, maybe enjoying someone else's distress, punishing a partner for being upset or vulnerable, grandiosity.
Things you typically don't see in ASD husbands, right? The sources suggest they usually want peace, stability.
Generally, yes. They often genuinely want harmony and don't want to hurt their spouse. They just fail sometimes at showing it in neurotypical ways.
Okay, so if it's mostly about neurological differences, not malice, what can you actually do? How do you communicate across that divide?
Clarity is job number one. You have to be explicit and direct.
No more hints.
Zero hints. Replace implied needs with really clear, simple requests like, I'm feeling lonely right now. Can you come sit with me for 10 minutes? Or even just, I really need a hug.
And check for understanding, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't assume he got it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Replace that assumption. He doesn't care because he didn't react with clarification. Ask something like, hey, can you tell me what you heard me say just now?
Makes him replay the tape.
Exactly. See what actually registered. And crucially, reframe those shutdowns. See them as that neurological emergency brake, not rejection. Give space for the system to reset.
And maybe live for love expressed differently.
Yes. Look for the effort, even if the style isn't what you expect. Maybe it's loyalty, fixing things, sticking to routines that make you feel secure, small acts of service. That's often their language.
So the big takeaway really is, most NT wives in this situation are likely married to good men who do love them, just differently. It's a translation issue, not usually an indifference issue.
That's the hopeful message, yes. It's about bridging a communication gap built by different wiring.
Which leads to a final thought for you, listener.
If we accept this idea that compassion plus structure helps build that bridge, maybe ask yourself, what's one specific emotional translation tool you could try? Maybe it's a pre-agreed script for tough topics or a simple pause phrase you both use when overload hits. What one small thing could you introduce, like today, to help translate that internal caring into something you can both understand?
Would you like to schedule a paid private coaching session? This will be in the form of a face-to-face Zoom call. Underneath any of my videos, you'll see this Calendly link. If you click on that link, it'll open up my calendar. You can pick the available days and times that works for your schedule. You'll get a follow-up email immediately after purchasing a session that will have the Zoom link that coincides with the day and time that you picked. I will get an email too that you scheduled a session, and I will be available on that exact day and time, and we will talk. I look forward to working with you.